I know some of you guys are new to the channel and may or may not know who I am. So who am I? I'm Alex with Landscaping Experts. I've been in the game for a very, very long time. A lot more than people know or think. So we're gonna go a little deeper on my story of like, how did I get here from, how did I get here from when I started? So I took over when I was 15 years old. That's when we decided to register the business. And that's when I had already developed a passion for this. So but with that being said, I've already been in the game for much longer than that. It all started with me, my mom, my dad, and just a dream, and really not having an option to go do something else, because that's really that's all my dad knew. That's all he could teach me. So yeah, I was around this as I can remember, 7, 8 years old. But by the time I was 15, I really developed more of a passion for hardscaping, landscaping, whatever it is, construction. And also I've also developed an understanding that I'm like, hey, I'm the youngest one out of all my brothers and sisters. They all have gone in their way. It's just me and my parents. Like, I can't just go and start my own thing. I need to figure out a way that within this vehicle we all had to be successful enough to to make it somewhere. And then obviously just being exposed to different things, being around different people, it just made me realize that what the possibilities were. And then it's like, man, from there, just the ideas kept flowing, just kept putting in the work. And then to make a long story short, I ended up just putting my head down and just worked. And then that got me from here to a better point. But then, like I always say, just head down and just working gets you to a certain level. But then even then, that wasn't enough, because it just got us past that level where you're not struggling anymore. But then again, it's like that's not enough. And then I always, for some reason, I continued to search for those answers that say, man, there has to be a way. And that's, like I said, I'm here now being the person that I wish I had during that time. I mean, there was times, man, where I've cried myself to sleep trying to figure out how I was going to make that next move, trying to figure out, I didn't know how I was going to make that next move. All I knew is that I was willing to work my ass off. I mean, there was times where I would go 2 days without sleeping. I would sleep 1 day. Go 2 days, I was willing to work my ass off, putting my life on the line to figure it out. And then again, like I said, even then, I still, without having the right information in front of me, I still couldn't figure it out. I couldn't get past the guys that were working 3 hours a day, but with the right tactics. So I'm like, man, there has to be a way. And obviously in my industry, it wasn't common to see people doing well. So it's like, man, I got everybody else around me telling me that that's all I got, that's all I'm going to get out of it. And it's like, no, man, I've always been the one to go against the wind, like go against the grain. Like there's got to be a way. That moment that changed everything was, I was driving home one day. My wife was pregnant with my first son. It just hit me, man. My first son was about to be born. I didn't have time or money to give this kid. And that just really hurt as a man. That just hurt, man. It just pissed me off. And I looked at my dad and said, hey, man, listen, dude, we got to make a change. I know. He's like, yeah, but we already made these changes. We made a pivot. We already went past what we talked about. I'm like, listen, man, we got to make a hard fucking pivot here. And that's when I said, hey, I'm going to go all out. Like, we lose all this shit or we take it to a different level, because this level that we're at right now is not where it's at. Like, I need to figure something out. So I said, trust me on this one. And if I don't figure it out, then I'll go get a job as a sales guy. I'll take care of you guys, but I'm leaving no stone unturned. Like, that was just mentality, man. I wanted to figure this out, that by the time my son was born, I was able to give him at least either one. I was either provide money or provide time in the search and the hunt for better ways of leveling up. I ran into my first mentor. I ended up spending $25,000 that I didn't have, put them on a credit card, and after that, it was game over. It was just, I was hungry. I had the experience. I was young. I was in my 20s then. I'm 33 now. But I put myself in the right information in the right rooms, and I went from doing $300K a year to that first month. It was in December. I'll never forget. My son was going to be born in January, and that December I sold over $1 million. From there, obviously I had new problems, but after that it was fucking game over for me.